Lords and ladies, lads and lassies, what is going on? Welcome to the first 10-minute mailbag of MLB The Show 24. Congratulations, you've made it. How was your weekend? If you pre-ordered the game, tell me how you think the game is. I've got lots of thoughts on the game. Some good, mostly good actually. A little bit of nitpicky things here and there, but that's really not important. Either way, tomorrow's podcast episode, it'll go over all of it. But for now, we're not so much worried about what I think about the game. I'm here to answer your questions. Those of you who are new here, every single Monday, I take YouTube comments from this video. Make sure you put your comments down below, and I answer them in full. More than just a couple words or a sentence. I give you guys real deep answers. The goal of that is, of course, just to start conversations with the community and help everybody out. Sometimes I feel like we don't give enough help as content creators, and I want to be able to help everybody remove all barriers of entry to this game. I'm going to put 10 minutes on the clock, and let's get to those questions. All right, I'm ready. If you're ready, and you're here, so I'm assuming you're ready. So in 3, 2, 1, begin. Our first question today is actually a double dipper. Rob and Flower Mountain both asked the same question. Did you ever find out the best settings for the DualSense Edge controller? So, I purchased the DualSense Edge in February with the goal of figuring it out for MLB The Show 24. And I think I've finally got it to a place where I feel good. I feel great at the plate, let me tell you. Hitting feels really nice in general, but my personal expectations of how I hit with my PCI feels great with what I've set up. Pitching, I'm still trying to figure out. Pinpoint is brand new, of course, with some of the things that they're doing. Lefties are different. Pitch tracing is different. There are also some confirmed pinpoint timing issues with pitchers like Jose Leclerc. They're looking into that. I know that for a fact. So I'm not tinkering with my pitching settings just yet because those pitching settings actually worked very well in 23. After we get a pitching patch, if we get a pitching patch, that's when I'll start tinkering. But I'll show you guys what I have anyway. For hitting, we go to this, don't we? So for hitting, left stick, I am using quick, I have 0% curve adjustment, and I have 4% dead zone. I'm not going to lie to you. I know very little about what any of this means. Quick is the best for MLB The Show because you want to make quick movements to the ball. You want your thumb to be, look at my thumb, look at that, bam, pop, pop. You want your thumb to be popping. Curve adjustment, I literally have no clue. So I'm not touching it because I don't want to ruin anything. If you guys know what curve adjustment actually means, I know it says it above my head, but if you actually know what it truly does, in layman's terms, please let me know. And then the dead zone, I believe dead zone is how far you go with your PCI before it registers that you're actually moving it. That's the way I understand that. So 4% works for me. You can go 5, 6, you can go 10, 10's a lot, but single digits below 7, I think that's a good number. So that's what I'm using for hitting, and I've been feeling really good at the plate. Granted, I've mostly just played the USA Conquest map. I finished all the Conquest. I have been playing BR. I'm on my, every time I get to 5 wins, I lose. I'm on my 4th run. It's my 4th 5-0 run, and cross your fingers, pray for me. If I go flawless, I'll post the banner on Twitter. Make sure you follow me there, by the way. So that's my hitting settings. And then when it comes to pitching, I'm going left stick default nothing. I have not changed it. So this is something we're going to look into. I did not fix it for MLB The Show 23 because I thought pitching was fine. I had no problems tracing pinpoints. But now we're starting to get a little different. I'm going to look into it. The thing that I've learned with pinpoint so far in MLB The Show 24 is that you have to go slower than you think. I feel like the pacing of the pinpoint is slower than it's been in years past. Maybe that's just me feeling that way. If you feel the same way, please let me know. But there might be a way to maybe up the dead zone default, or dead zone adjustment rather, just a little bit. I think I'm okay. I want to wait and see. What do you guys use for pitching? Please let me know. I feel like pitching is the easier of the two things in terms of just tracing and timing. Hitting actually requires a lot of erratic movement, right? I think that's probably the best word. Pitching is predictable, hitting is not. So because hitting is unpredictable, you got to be able to adjust and move a lot. So that's kind of where I'm at. Yeah, that's my DualSense Edge. If you guys have any questions about it, obviously put them in the comments. That's what these videos are for. If you don't use a DualSense Edge, don't feel like you have to. There are plenty of people who haven't spent $200 on this controller who are playing quite friggin' well. The only reason I ended up buying it was because I got my bonus from work, and I was like, you know what? Part of my bonus, I'll buy myself a little present. So I bought myself a little present, and I've been enjoying it. I also just like that the DualSense Edge feels like a good controller. Like, it feels sturdy. It's got these interchangeable joysticks, and it comes with 2 sets of extra ones. So if you start getting stick drift, you can replace them. And it actually ends up being kind of worth 3 controllers when you think about it that way, which would be $180. I spent $200 on it. You know, I can math the math in my head all I want. But I'm a fan of it, but don't feel like you have to get it, guys. It's extra if you'd like to. But Flower and Rob, thank you guys for your questions. I'm going to get back to the game here, and we actually only have one more question for today. There were a lot of questions in the last video, but not all of them were 24 focused, so I wanted to talk about 24 in this video. Back to game. Thank you. This question comes from Josh McCarty. Can you help me understand why we all play Diamond Dynasty games at minor league parks? Is it just as simple as the ball travels better? I've done it the last few years because every content creator I follow does, but I never knew the reason why. So this is the last question, and I want to spend a couple minutes on this, or 4+ minutes on this, because it's a great question. In MLB The Show 23, yes, minor league stadiums simply played better. I'm gonna get off this really bright screen because it's like a fucking flashbang went off. Where can I see a screen that's not gonna kill me? All right, this is fine. Whatever. Stadiums in the minor leagues played better because there were fewer fans. There were fewer assets to render. And when there are fewer assets to render, the game doesn't have to spend as much performance effort on that. It could just focus on the gameplay, the pitch moving, the players moving. So that made just about every major league stadium, minus sometimes Coors. I feel like Coors played okay, but made just about every major league stadium crap. It made every previous historical stadium crap. However, so far, in MLB The Show 24, that might not be the case anymore. This is one of the things I'm going to talk about in depth in the podcast, or at least I'm going to bring it up tomorrow. But SDS did a very good job of several things in terms of balancing the game so far. Now, let's make the abundantly clear. The game's been out for 4 days. We're still in the honeymoon phase for sure. Our opinions will continue to form and shape with time. I'm not out here calling this the best MLB The Show 24 that's ever, the best MLB The Show that's ever came out, because it's too early to do that. Might it end up being? For sure. There's a lot of positives. But no one in their right mind should be saying that with any definitively yet. I can't speak. I haven't slept much this past weekend. But getting back to the original point, with balancing things out and making more stadiums playable, we're starting to see more variety without a subtraction in gameplay. I played at a throwback stadium earlier today. I'm going to find exactly which one it was. I always forget the name. I know which one it is. Where do you collect the classic stadiums? Was it Forbes? It's not Forbes. It's not Crosley, not Scheib. Sportsman. I played at Sportsman's Park. I wish I could make it bigger, but you can't. I played at Sportsman's Park. This place last year was a frickin' canyon. With live series Rhys Hoskins in BR. Who's got decent power, to be fair. But live series Rhys Hoskins, I hit a pitch to dead center field 450. Gone. Try doing that with any card last year, let alone a live series. Stadiums are playing great. Exit velos are certainly jacked up a little bit, and I think that has more to do with it than the stadiums playing better per se. But I also think they did a good job with, like, the fans aren't, like, glitching and tweaking out anymore. They don't look like super pixels. They don't just, like, act like robots like this. You know, they actually kind of move fluidly, or they just sit fucking still. What a concept. I think, within reason, you can play just about anywhere, at least right now. Now, things are going to change, right? Because starting, I guess, is Tuesday normal launch? Starting Tuesday, we're going to have thousands upon thousands upon thousands of more players jumping into the game. Gonna get flooded with so many more people stressing the servers, doing this, doing that. The game has felt really, really crispy in the early on, right? Other than the launch night server error, which was, in my opinion, I think, my theory, entirely because they launched the app update at the same time. And I think that messed with the market and stuff and whatever. Then there was a server outage the next day for like 30 or 40 minutes. But then the game came back perfect. Like perfect. And then, perfect, LOL, that was a mistake. And then Sunday morning in the wee hours, they did a server maintenance update. So that's the other time it's been down. I mean, this game's playing really well. Stadiums are playing really, really well. So Josh, your question totally was applicable to MLB The Show 23. I don't think it's totally applicable to 24, and that's fun. I love Ship It for a lot of reasons. It's an easy place to play. The batter's eye is nice. It always plays well. But if other places are going to play well too, your boy might start exploring a little bit. I'm not saying I'm going to go play in Yankee Stadium, but it gives me more options, and more options are fun. It helps the game just stay away from being stale. It keeps it fresh. Guys, I'm sorry we only had 2 questions in this one, but the 2 things I really wanted to talk about, and again, I wanted to keep the focus on 24. There were a lot of comments or questions or things to say about 23, but we're moving on. That's in the past. Now we're on to a new game that's got a ton of potential, truly, and feels really good. I just find it so ironic because everybody leading into the release of this game was like, oh, it's gonna stink. They haven't said anything. It's gonna be blah, 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 blah. The graphics are bad. The gameplay's bad. This is why we have to be patient. This is why we have to exercise patience. Again, nobody in their right mind just yet is anointing this the best MLB The Show that's ever come out. But right now, the early release launch, it's playing the best it's played in a very long time. Let's say that. As always, thank you guys for being here. Thank you for making it to the end. Let me know what questions you have for next week. I want to talk all about the nitty-gritty of MLB The Show 24. I'm so excited to ask and answer like those really granular questions. So please leave them in the comments down below. I'm game for just about anything. Of course, if you're new here and you like this face, please subscribe. I appreciate it. We're on the road now to 5K. I know we just passed 2,500, but we're shooting to double that within a couple months. So we're on the road. I appreciate your help getting me there. And thank you again for making it to the end. Love you all. See you next time.